In this video, I'm going to be showing you the number one important metric that you need to track as an individual agent or agency owner and how that metric can change everything for you to hit $40,000, $50,000, and $60,000 per month. My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents just like yourself hit $40,000 per month. And on this video, I try to talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors of those individuals and how you can go out and execute on that as well. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and let's hop right into it. So today I want to talk about tracking the inputs, not the outputs. What does that mean? Okay. Now, a lot of times we set goals. Goals essentially are outputs, right? They are not directly inputs. Okay. You say you want to make $1 million a month. You want to have $100,000 in a bank account. Okay. Now, most of the times we set those goals and we just get to work. And I don't think that that's bad. I think that gets you on the path. But to consistently be and have a confident roadmap, you need to have inputs. Okay, so here's what that means. All right, so it's inputs versus outputs. All right, outputs is essentially going to be the end goal or desired results that come from inputs. Now, most people don't know the inputs to get outputs. Here's what I mean. They buy leads with no idea on how to get that out because they don't know the input. All right. People have sales frustration because no idea how to get the output with the right inputs. And we can go et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can keep going on and on and on. All right. And this philosophy is if you don't know your numbers, you can't grow your numbers. Okay. So what does that mean? I need to learn by numbers. Trey, where is this coming from? You always know I try to give real life examples. All right. So my team, let me give you an example of my team. So I looked at my team and I said, we're going to have a new standard for how much cash you need to collect in order for you to get a certain percentage on the revenue that you collect in terms of payouts. All right. So let's say, for example, I say you have to sell $10,000 a week worth of leads, and then you get, a 5% bonus. That's all great to say, but I need to be able to give my team practical steps. How many booked appointments do you need to have? How many presentations do you need to have? If you can do this per day, you'll be able to get to the desired outcome. Now, that takes somebody actually just putting their head down and working. That's why the first thing I said is I think that you having a gauge for what you're going to do or where you want to go and just starting to work is the first place. And then from there, you refine the work based on what you learn. Okay. So if I'm somebody who is consistently going to be, dialing the phones for 12 hours straight, right? Because I think that it starts with hard work, in my opinion. And then you revamp from there. You can't sit down and game plan something you haven't experienced. So you start dialing for 12 hours for like a week and you're like, yo, here's what I've learned, right? These are the best times that people pick up. You start tracking the data. Best times people pick up. Here's how many presentations I had. Then once you have all that data, you reverse engineer that data to the goal. Let's say you make 5 sales and you did 12 hours. So it's 12 hours a day for 6 days a week. So it's 60 hours and you made, let's just call it 6 sales. All right. So you made a sale a day. Theoretically, it takes you 12 hours for you to make 1 sale. Right. And then you start, okay, what can I do? Obviously, I can go 24 hours, but that's impossible. All right, so what are some other things? Okay, how many booked appointments did I have? Let's say of those 6 sales, I had 30 booked appointments. Okay, so that's something I could change. How many people showed up? How many people did I present to? How many people did I close? Did I close them on the wrong thing? How many people? And you just start reverse engineering the inputs. The thing is, if you don't know, and that's why I said the only metric you need to track is input. That's it. Because if you could track input for every single thing in your business, you will make more money. It does, because once you see it, you know exactly what you need to do to grow. Seeing the numbers gives you the confidence to know I got to spend this much, do this much, do this much, do this much. I'll hit my goal. Point blank, period. And once you can trust that, you have a lot more peace and you also understand and know how business works. Most people just try to focus on the output with no idea of the input. They don't even go back and reverse engineer their numbers. So they're just haphazardly very emotional with all their moves and they wonder why they can't get where they're trying to go fast. Once you understand the inputs, then you get the outputs, you're good. You say, this is the goal. I'm going to start going after it. You figure out, okay, you say, okay, this is what we're looking at. Then you say, all right, I don't want to do that. Here's what I want to do. You pivot and you adjust and then you grow. And it's that simple, right? These are small nuggets that I wish I knew somebody would have given to me. Like, yo, you should focus on this because this is what you can estimate that you're going to get. Here's the ROI. Here's what it looks like, etc. All right. So I hope that was helpful. I wanted to give you a high level overview. It's all about the inputs. You need to track your dials, your booked appointments, your presentations, when people pick up, like everything. The more stuff you track, the easier it is to make decisions. And then you never really worry because everything is based on the numbers. You remove all emotion. You just base it off of what are the numbers? What's the likelihood for this or for that, for this or for that? And then from there, you change your behavior, you adjust, and you execute. And then you'll get a goal, and then you'll come back and you'll do it over and over and over again until you can consistently get to where you need to. So I will see you all in the next video. Just wanted to give you all a quick breakdown of exactly where we're at, what we're doing, and why this is so important. I'm implementing this in my business. You can take this same principle and implement in your business. If you have agents coming in and they want to hit $40,000 a month, please do not just say hit 40,000 and just dial all day. Just dial 6 days a week, 12 hours straight. That's a good starting point. Give them a roadmap. Give them simple inputs. Because regardless of the output, their skill will get better. If you say, hey, man, you make this many dials, you're going to have this many booked appointments, you should have this many presentations. And you start reverse engineering it. And give them legit numbers that they can base it off of. And then they can see other people doing the same thing. So, as always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace.